Alright, let's start the stream. Hi, anyone that decides to watch this. I forgot to do 2 reviews, and then I'm going to do Baktria. I believe Baktria is west of China. However, I'll have to check my map again. But I forgot to do Parthia and the Adrician Kingdom. So I'll do these 2 first. We're going to start off with Parthia, because I did them before them, the Adricians. And bear with me, I can't pronounce Adrician Kingdom as well as other people can. Parthia, the first faction I played as, they do not have the same selection of infantry units. Like, they have a bunch of missile units. However, their strength lies more in their cavalry. Shock cavalry, melee cavalry, and especially shock cavalry, but missile cavalry as well. They also have elephants, which I haven't gone over yet. I did not go over them with Carthage, so I will go over them in this stream. So let's talk about the Parthian units. They have the Noble Horse Archers, which are the only super heavy missile cavalry unit in the game. And they have Royal Cataphracts, which are one of the few super heavy shock cavalry units. Noble Horse Archers have 35 missile damage and 125 range. They have 7 shots per minute, which is nice. 15 ammunition, right, which is normal. 39 melee attack, 34 weapon damage. Most bow units that are higher tier, like I believe this is more of a tier 3 rather than a tier 4 missile unit, even though it's the only super heavy missile cav in the game, will have better melee attack. Maybe the same weapon damage, but definitely better melee attack. They have 22 charge, they have 34 weapon damage, which is 30 base and 40 armor piercing, 19 melee defense, which is why you don't want them to be in melee against other cavalry units. It's 90 armor, which is completely base value, like they have no shield. Health 55 for the man, 40 for the mount, which is about regular, and 55 morale as a base. Compared to the next unit, which is Royal Cataphracts, they have 10 less morale and definitely less armor. Royal Cataphracts have 50 attack, which is good for a shock unit, 27 weapon damage, which when you're charging doesn't matter, 10 bonus versus large, 76 charge. They should win a charge against good cavalry units such as this cav unit. I'll get into them in a minute. They have 23 melee defense, which is above average for a shock unit. 110 armor. This is really good for shock units, as sometimes you might have to charge frontally, and when you're going up against a bunch of missile units, especially javelins, this will help protect them for the most part. Mind you, you'll still notice that they'll die quicker over time if you keep on doing this. And that's just because eventually armor decays every time it's hit by a missile unit, whether it be rocks or javelins or arrows. 120 health and 65 base morale. Just like most shock units, they'll have trample, which helps their charge bonus, but they get tired afterwards. Unless, of course, you don't really charge with them. For example, if you put trample on but you can't get a charge off, they may or may not become winded. Moving on. Hillmen I have never gone into, not in depth at least. They're a low tier 1 melee unit. They're not really good for engagements. Like, they're good against, let's just say, Levy Freemen. They have 25 in melee attack, 26 weapon damage, which all axes will have, 10 armor piercing, and 16 base damage. No bonus versus infantry. Almost all sword units used to have a bonus versus infantry. Even the Romans did, which made them kind of overpowered. Anyway, 12 charge bonus, not good. 36 melee defense, not good. 15 armor, not good. 45 health, which is below average. And 35 morale, which is below average. Cheap. However, if you can use them against the rear, they might be effective against all but tier 3 units or tier 4. Parthian swordsmen are a different version of thorax swordsmen. They have less melee attack, 36, compared to 38 for the thorax swordsman. Same weapon damage, 19 charge instead of the thorax swordsman's 18. 59 melee defense instead of the thorax swordsman's 57. 75 armor, 55 health, and 60 morale. I believe, yes, they have 10 more base morale than the thorax swordsman. Whoops. Moving on. Eastern spearmen, they're not like Iberian spearmen. They're just useful mostly against tier 2 cavalry units. They're almost never useful against cataphracts. Almost never. Maybe if you can get a cataphract unit caught up with Eastern spearmen and then flank with a cavalry unit, it can help. But besides that, you know, they're nothing special. More cannon fodder. Yeah, cannon fodder. They have 13 melee attack, 25 weapon damage, which is split between 20 base and 5 armor piercing. 20 bonus versus large. Again, they're better against cavalry units than infantry. 11 charge, 34 melee defense, 45 armor, 45 health, and 25 morale. They'll rout quickly, basically, especially if they get charged by a shock unit. Persian hoplites are they're a weaker version of hoplites. However, they can hold their ground against some sword units. 22 melee attack, 25 weapon damage, 20 bonus versus large, 20 charge, 49 melee defense, 75 armor, 50 health, 40 morale. Their morale is lower than the hoplite unit. Parthia has mercenary hoplites, as do some factions that cannot get hoplites. Now you go on to the missile infantry. Parthia has a nice selection of missiles. I mean, one of them is a mercenary. However, true to their history, they do have a nice amount of missiles, whether it be infantry / foot or mounted / cavalry. Persian light archers are their lowest tier missile unit. However, I consider their lowest tier to be Eastern javelins. However, Eastern javelins have 41 missile damage. Anyway, Persian light archers have 35 missile damage, 150 range, which you won't see for a lot of low tier bow units. Like, basically, I think the only other unit that is the same tier and has 150 range would be the steppe archers, which I may go into tomorrow. 150 range, 6 shots per minute, which is low. However, the reason why they're low tier is simply because of the melee attack, weapon damage, charge bonus, melee defense, armor, and that's about it, and base morale. Besides that, they're a good unit to have. However, if you take into consideration their 10 armor, like they have no shields, they'll get cut down by slingers, they'll definitely not survive cavalry units, but they're cost effective, which makes them kind of nice to bring to the battlefield. Anyway, Eastern javelin men are like the regular javelin men. However, they have 41 missile damage compared to 32 for a regular javelin unit. Let me just check Peltas. Yes, 32. Just like the light archers, the reason why these guys are cheap is just because of their ability to withstand melee, which they cannot. 41 missile damage, 80 range, 7 shots per minute, 7 ammunition, everything's regular. 45 armor, 45 health, 20 morale. They have 15 armor. I think it's because they have a shield. Yes. Eastern Slingers are like your regular Slinger units. However, the reason why they are slightly more expensive than other Slinger units is because they have 23 missile damage. Or maybe I'm wrong. Let me check. No, I'm right. They have 3 more base damage. They have 3 more damage, rather, than regular Slingers. Just like these other 2 units, they are weak in morale. In fact, the Eastern Javelin men have the same melee attack, weapon damage, etc. 45 health, 20 morale. Nothing special. You move over to Parthian foot archers, which are a better version of Persian light archers. They're basically the foot unit, the foot version of the horse archers. The only reason the horse archers cost 30 more is because they're mounted and more mobile. However, they have less men. Anyway, 40 missile damage, which is good for their they're good in their category for Parthia. They're the only unit, the only archer unit that have 40 damage. Anyway, 40 damage, 150 range, 6 shots per minute, like the light archers. 15 ammunition, nothing special, 10 armor, 50 health, 35 morale. However, when you get to the abilities, precision shot, I haven't gone over precision shot. A bunch of Eastern units will have precision shot, and basically just improves missile damage, making it easier to do more damage to all sorts of units, whether they have armor, good armor or bad armor. It helps you to get more kills, basically, while you don't use more ammunition in return, but you do get tired faster. Peltasts or regular Peltasts, elite Persian archers are the best version. However, they have 5 less missile damage. The only reason they cost more is because they can withstand melee more, and they have better health and better morale. They also have heavy shot and whistling shot. If you've played Shogun 2, you already know what whistling shot is. It just causes less damage. It causes less damage than the regular arrow. However, it harms whoever it flies over, friendly or foe. In this game, it does the same thing,